This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotatonetwork.com.
Watching television, watching television. Watching television, watching television. I need all the image, I need all the sound, I know the info right into my mind.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Trial by Pilot. This is the show where we judge an entire series of television and the work of hundreds on one episode. I'm Bill Lynch.
I'm Elizabeth Lynch.
What do you got?
What are you sitting in?
What? God. We're talking about the chair. A new comedy on Netflix. Comedy?
Dramedy.
Starring Sandra Oh, plus some other people. Bob Balaban.
Bob Balaban, who's that?
That was the older professor.
Oh, okay. I never knew his name.
Jay Duplass, brother of Mark.
Oh, is that who plays Bill? Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. Holland Taylor from Legally Blonde.
Oh, okay. I knew I recognized all these people, sort of. Like,
Right. Oh, I mean, Bob Balaban has been in a ton of stuff.
yeah, I recognized him. I just didn't know his name.
Yeah, and then Holland Taylor, I knew from somewhere, and then I looked it up, I was like, oh, Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
She was also in 2.5 Men, but we never watched that trash. Holland Taylor is also the partner of Sarah Paulson. Do you remember when all that stuff came out?
Oh, really? Her?
Yeah.
I don't think I realized that. Was it like just a big deal because she was so much older?
Yes.
Than her? Yeah.
Yeah, so Holland
Which,
Taylor...
I don't know why that would be a big deal. Like,
Well, Holland
date.
Taylor is 78 and Sarah Paulson is 46.
yeah, but that like happens all the time with like.
It doesn't happen all the time. That's a significant age
No,
gap.
I know, but I'm just saying it does happen. I think it's like stranger for people because it's two women. Do you think?
I think that's a small part of it. I think that if it was an actress that was 40, they met in 2015. If it was an actress that was 40 and she got together with an actor who was in his 70s, I think it would still be considered odd. Listen, I don't care. Love whoever you want to love, age, whatever. It is a little jarring.
To see that age difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it is. I just. We don't judge here.
Listen, I'm not judging them. I'm not saying anything against it. It's just a big age gap.
It is a big age gap. No. I mean,
listen,
you're right. It is.
They're both successful actresses. Clearly, Sarah Paulson is not like with this person for their money. Like, clearly they must love each other.
Yeah, like there's no like that's I guess why when people are talking about it, I just thought that it was odd that people were talking about it because it's not like it's some kind of like untoward like no one is underage. No one was like grooming someone until they became of age. Like it was just like they met when they were older and it's just like it is an odd age difference.
Yeah,
But,
that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the only reason people talked about it.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't realize that that's who that was.
Yes. So we start the pilot to the chair at Pembroke College. It is Ji-yoon Kim's first day as English chair. Mm-hmm. Kim is played by Sandra Oh. And after she like triumphantly enters her office with this like orchestral music playing, she sits down and the chair breaks and she like topples over.
Oh my God. It's such a great scene.
Yeah.
Like, I just absolutely love that. And it just, like, made me, I was like, you know what? When it happened, I was like, I love Sandra Oh. Like,
She's great.
She's so good. And she's just so good at being, like, not slick. Like, I just feel like in the characters that, like, I've seen her in, I never really, she's in Grey's Anatomy, right?
Yeah.
So I never watched that. But, like, I really like her. I really like her in Killing Eve because there are things she does where she's just like bumbling.
Yeah.
And she's like not afraid to be bumbling.
Yeah.
And it's so great because it's so natural and so real. And it was just like a great comedic like fall, like a physical
I thought that in the moment. I was like, how many times have I seen someone sit down and like they fall, the chair breaks, whatever. Like you've seen it many, many times. But there's still something so effective about something so simple if it's timed just right. And this was. It was completely unexpected.
Face, like,
yeah.
She's so good.
So she's welcoming all the professors back to another semester, and she's like giving this like quasi pep talk, despite the fact that, they're getting hit pretty hard with decreasing enrollments, as Bill, one of the other professors and the former chair, who is late to this meeting, we see sending off his daughter to college. And so like this meeting with Sandra Oh's character and Bill are like interspersed back and forth. And he's like getting hammered at the airport and can't find his car. So he drives like the little golf cart around before flipping it over on the lawn at the airport.
Again, like another really like funny, like not so much like his physical comedy in here, but like just the whole way it's shot and like edited was so great.
So Ji-yoon is speaking with the dean, I think it was the dean, and he gives her a list of the 3 eldest professors on her staff with the highest payrolls and the lowest enrollment. And so, he doesn't explicitly say it, but there's a lot of implication like something needs to be done about this or people are going to get let go.
And it's not like he doesn't say that they're the oldest. Like, I don't think it's like an ageist thing. It's really just like highest. Like, they're not doing anything for the department.
Right.
Their ages probably mean that that's why they're the highest paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And perhaps the lowest attendance, because it is the 3 oldest professors who are, in their 70s, 80s, and are, we see throughout this episode, like they're a little bit out of touch. Time has kind of like passed them by and they haven't kept up to date with things.
Yeah.
So one of them has 3 people in his class. And then what
was the name of his class? Do you remember? It was like letters of the 1870s or something like that. Like letters. Like, who is gonna take this?
Well, 3 people. Then we cut across the hall to a young black female professor, and she has a packed class.
Right.
And it's called Sex in the Novel. And so Ji-yoon suggests to her, like, maybe you guys can combine classes for this semester because we don't have enough to fill to fill up the class.
And she's like going for tenure.
Yes.
And like this is her tenure.
He is on her tenure committee.
Right.
Yeah. And so, she's very hesitant about that. And she's like, he's going to treat me like a TA.
Right.
And her fears like all come true. That's exactly how it goes.
I thought that was really shitty of Ji-yoon's character.
Yeah.
To do that. Like, that wasn't fair at all.
I guess that's what you have to do as the chair. You don't let your professors, especially with tenure, get laid off.
Yeah.
That's like also part of her job,
part
right?
of it. It just sucks because the whole like optics of it was just like, I just felt bad because it's like, she's a younger professor, but she's also like relating to the kids in a way that this other older professor's not, but like he's like an older white male who's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And she's just like this like younger black female. And so like the whole thing is just like, it just sucks. It's like just like a shitty situation.
Yeah, yeah.
When she's the one that's like engaging the students.
Right. Then we see Bill is late to class again. He's riding a scooter because I guess he still hasn't found his car, and he crashes it into some bushes. Oh, and then he gets offered a ride by a student. Mm-hmm. And then he gets to class. He turns on the wrong video and shows the students his now deceased wife going into labor topless.
Yeah.
And then we find out that Bill and Ji-yoon had a thing at some point prior to his wife passing away.
Yeah.
That's more recent. Ji-yoon, we find out, is divorced with a daughter. We meet her that evening, and the daughter's like drawing pictures of her sawing off her teachers' heads in school, and so like there's an issue there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. At some point we find out that the ride Bill got from this student, the student is the daughter of a board member of the university. Like someone.
Oh, I think I missed
Someone
that.
saw him get dropped off, and so Ji-yoon's like yelling at him, and he's like, "You know what? I don't have a car." And she's like, "It was a board member's daughter. Don't let it happen again. You can't be getting dropped off to school by an 18-year-old
Yeah.
daughter of our board." Then we find out that the older female faculty member, who's like one of the 3 on this list, got her office moved to the basement of the gym, and so she's clearly upset. And so Ji-yoon suggests, like, we need to go file a complaint. And so this professor goes to the Title IX office, waiting for Ji-yoon to get there, but she's dealing with Bill. And so she gets into it with the young woman who works there, whose underwear / butt is showing out of her shorts.
Right.
And so, she's like, how did you even get this job working at the Title IX office? And she's like, well, I got it because I used to work at a nonprofit where I helped refugee orphans, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And the older professor says something like, well, I hope they didn't have to look at your fucking fanny while you did it.
It is like a little sad to watch, like, these older professors, like, you don't go into it thinking, like, they started out as like the young
Yeah.
professor that like was relating to the kids, and like eventually you do just get too old. Like, that's just like why.
Yeah.
Not that you get too old to do it. Like, I don't want to say it in a way, but it's just like,
Listen,
if you're not willing to like keep up, like, you need to update your curriculum. If you're still teaching letters from the 1870s and it's not relevant in any way, like, or haven't found like any different way to teach it,
yeah.
it's like,
I mean, I think that was an intriguing part of this, like, mostly comedy, is that this is an issue at a lot of universities
Yeah.
and colleges. These people get tenure and they, never leave.
right.
For
Why
better or
would
for
you?
worse. Yeah, I know.
Why would you, especially if you like your colleagues? And like, I'm sure there's something like very cool about working in academia, like, especially at a small university like that. It just seems kind of cozy and quaint. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So while this other meeting is going on, Bill is found, he's late to class again. He's found passed out in Ji-yoon's office. So she's like getting his shoes on, telling him to like get his shit together. You only have enrollment in your class because of your reputation. And he's like, I guess he wrote at least one book.
Yeah, because the student that picked him up was a big fan of his.
Yes.
And had him sign the book.
Yeah.
Like,
Her whole family is. And then,
Yeah.
then we find out later that it's a board member that's
Right.
a big fan. So she's like, the only reason you have enrollment is because of your past reputation. And he's like, what does that mean? Like, he's a little oblivious to like how shitty things are going for himself.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But then he does end up, getting to class and like starts to deliver a heartfelt lecture as like the students start to record him, but then like start to get into the lecture. So like, it seems like
Yeah.
at least that little tiny bit was a happy.
Yeah, it's cool because you can kind of see him, like, he's like totally like in like just messing up in every other like time that you see him, and then like once he gets into the groove of what he's supposed to be talking about, it's like very engaging, and it's like, oh, okay, he is good at what he does.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, we don't find out why he is not the chair anymore. Like if he stepped down because his wife passed away, or if there was some other incident.
Yeah,
But he
my
was-
guess is that he stepped down because of his
Yeah.
wife. Yeah.
But anyway, he was the chair, and now Ji-yoon is. They have a thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be a thing throughout
Right.
this season. What did you think of the pilot?
I really liked it. I laughed a bunch of times, and I liked the whole vibe of like the college campus and the college town around it. I liked the way it was filmed.
Yeah.
I liked that feeling of like an old, like, I don't know, an old town in the winter. I know it sounds so silly to like describe it that way, but it just like gives me this feeling of like being in, I don't know, like, what movie was it?
With a college town?
Yeah, I want to say maybe like just like that, like those old campuses. It just like gives me
Yeah, sure.
a cozy feeling. So I like that about it. And then I really liked the acting. And I'm like really into the story. I just thought they did a good job of introducing everyone.
Yeah,
I thought it was a good pilot.
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about the cast. Everyone did a great job. And you know what? Even like the chemistry between the characters, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Even between Duplass and Sandra Oh.
And between Sandra Oh and what was the older woman's name again?
I can't remember.
But what's her real name?
Holland Taylor.
Yeah. So between them, like that chemistry was really good. And then when you see it again between like Sandra Oh and then the younger professor,
Yes, yeah.
just like kind of like this mentor mentee, but like you're seeing like the full like spectrum of it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's, I don't know, it's just kind of cool. And they're just like, you know, they're proud of her because she's the first female chair. So like, there's no like hard feelings like, oh, you're the chair now and I'm not. Like, she's like genuinely happy for her.
Right.
So I thought that was all done really well.
Yeah. I agree. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was funny. I think it's an interesting subject matter behind the comedy, like this look at kind of the generational divide and the cultural divide. You know, that like I said, is probably super prevalent still at a lot of colleges and universities. But with this like really funny, well-written comedic lens over it.
Yeah.
And it worked. I think it could have easily not worked, but it did.
Yeah.
At least in the pilot. And I think this is only 6 episodes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bang this one right out.
Half an hour each.
Yeah.
Bing, bang, boom. Although, even those shows we're getting behind on.
I know.
All right. Well, let's finish up discussion on The Chair. I think we would both recommend it.
Yes, I do recommend it.
And
I will watch it.
I don't see a reason it wouldn't get a second season if it wants to and is doing well. You know, great cast. I don't know what's going on with season 4 of Killing Eve.
I was just gonna ask that.
Yeah, I
don't know.
haven't looked it up in a while. I know like they were really behind because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they've wrapped filming or what's going on. But Sandra Oh was available for this,
Yeah.
at least. So yeah, I think we're probably gonna find time to watch, recommend it, all that good stuff. We also still need to watch, as of time of this recording, Reservation Dogs, which I do really want to watch.
I know, I do too.
We are halfway through or almost halfway through Dr. Death.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna talk about that for a second.
Well, that's why I brought it up.
I'm ready to just put that one to bed.
That's fine.
I can't. I just can't. I really wanted to like it. My friend she's like, you keep watching it. It was like, we're very into the story. So do you know what I did the other day at work? I just listened to the podcast. And I can see how they based the show off of the podcast.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Well, I mean,
Like the way that the episodes are laid out. I think we're almost like it was like laid out the way they told the story. And like the story is incredibly interesting. It's insane. It is just like,
yeah.
even like his friend. So do you know any more of the story? Can I just tell you? And spoilers for everyone. I mean, everyone knows, like it was in the news. So
Spoiler for these real life events.
but like, so his friend Jerry, I think that was like so we watched 4 episodes. So the one that like was good, like his communications manager, whatever. And he like said he was going to do like surgery on him because he has a neck problem. He fucking paralyzed the guy. The guy's a paraplegic now.
Yeah. They said that on the show already.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, the 2 older doctors mentioned that.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, so like,
But it's like very like a crazy story to hear.
yes, the story is fucking wild and unbelievable. The way they're telling it is so poorly done.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
Like, so I think we've watched 4 episodes out of 8. It's moving so slowly without a lot of progression in the plot, and they jump around through all these different years, and they only use de-aging one time when we're supposed to believe that, what's the guy's name? Joshua Jackson?
Yeah.
When he's in college, when he's like a freshman
Yeah.
college football player. They use de-aging then, but they don't use it with any other characters at any time. So they're jumping around between like 2008, 2013, 2012, like back and forth constantly. And I'm like, what fucking, where does this fall in the timeline?
And like, and the thing is that those years are still very close together. It's like a 5-year time frame. So it's not like, oh, I can tell it's different because like the phones are so different, or like,
no, there's no discernible.
There's nothing. And it's just like, I have to like get like you have to guess, like, you know, he goes into like the one office, like you see him go into like Jerry's office and like everything's down off the walls, and I'm like, okay, I think that this is like, quote unquote, like present day, like,
yeah,
you know, so like, but it's too subtle, and like they have like the words like come up on the screen of like when it is, but I also think that that's too subtle because it's done like too artfully, like where it like slides in a different font, and it's like, you know what? No, I wanted it in big block letters right across the front, like, and then the last episode we watched, I don't know who the fuck directed that.
Oh my gosh, it was fucking bizarre.
It was bizarre. So like one of them was Alec Baldwin's character is like having a dream basically.
For like the first 10 minutes.
Like a daydream. It's a daydream. Because I was like, wait, what? Like there are all these like weird like cuts and shots, and then he's like walking on a piece of he's not walking on a piece of glass, but like the way it's shot, it's like the floor is clear. So basically it's just like an upshot of like his feet.
Right.
I don't know how to describe that. Basically they had him walk on a piece of glass.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden you hear him, like you see him come out of the bathroom at Christian Slater's character's house. And he's like, I don't think we should go to that party. So like the whole dream is them at this party confronting Dr. Dunch. Then you realize he was just imagining that in the bathroom.
And they set up that opening in episode 3 at the end, where like they plan to and then go to this party. So like even in episode 3, it was all just a daydream that carried into the next episode.
Yeah.
The filming of it was so fucking strange. And then we got like a disco montage later in that episode.
Right, but that's like not in the 70s.
All this weird shit. And
oh my God. There was like a conversation that was like, there was no talking.
oh my God.
Remember that?
And they just put the text on the screen?
Yeah, but it wasn't like there was like a phone call. Oh no, there was a phone call. But there was no,
there was two people next to each other talking.
Yes, that's right. They were talking.
With music playing, and we as the viewer only see text that they put up on the screen. They put the dialogue on the fucking screen rather than us hearing the actors. It was such a weird choice.
But not like subtitles.
No.
They put it on so it's like almost like the words are like floating around and covering their body. It was so strange.
It was so out of place and jarring and like stupid.
It was stupid. But besides that, and I don't know if like they're going to continue with that. It was so out of place. Didn't match any of the other 3 episodes that we watched. It was weird. But
like someone really thought they were being fucking artsy by doing all this strange stuff.
All of that stuff in one episode. But I'm just like, even if they like never do that again, I still think the story's being told too slowly. And it's a shame because I really like Christian Slater's character in this. I think he's really funny.
Not only is the story being told so slowly and strangely, we spend most of the time with Dunch. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I thought originally, Baldwin and Slater's characters were going to be the, main characters, quote unquote, but they're not. It's clearly Dunch. We spend most of every episode with him, like in flashbacks and whatever else. So like he's the main character, but he's a fucking villain who is completely irredeemable,
right?
Completely unlikable, And so I'm watching it like, I don't fucking care about like X, Y, and Z that happened in this guy's past, because as of yet, halfway through, we don't really get a reason or motivation or anything. Like, and maybe it is just that he's a psychopath, which is like, you know, crazy and wild that like he got away with all this stuff. But like, I don't, it makes it tough for me to like care about watching all of this unravel.
Yeah.
You know, it's just making me like him a little bit less. But like, I already hate him.
Right. And like when you're
So-
listening to the podcast, you're getting these other people's accounts of what happened, which I think is much more interesting because these things did happen to
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for this story, it is a great story. And it makes you like really nervous to think about, like, especially the way that it was just like allowed to happen. And basically like Baylor just didn't want to get sued
Right.
by him. So
Right.
they just like let this stuff go and like didn't report him. And, you know, like, and that's all like really fucked up. And like basically like one of the guys in there that was talking was basically like, I don't think that this, like that this is a problem. Like he was saying this is a problem, and he doesn't see even after this that it getting any better. I don't think that there's probably not anybody as crazy as Dunch, but there's
Maybe.
also, I mean, there might be, and there's really just no way. Like people just are kind of like letting stuff like that happen. Like if these two guys, Baldwin and Slater's characters, like hadn't gone after him,
Yeah.
he could still be practicing.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that part is
And
like,
that's really fucked up.
yeah, that part is fucked up and fascinating, but like, it doesn't make for good TV. Like that a college is just like, well, we don't want to get sued. Like that's what they keep uncovering. Like that these colleges just don't want conflict. Like, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. Like what's next?
Yeah.
What else happened?
Yeah, my recommendation would be to just listen to the podcast.
Yeah. And there's just all these like long scenes of like him with this girlfriend and like how their relationship is like progressing. But like, it's not that interesting because we already know he's a psychopath and like the bad guy. It's like everything is expected.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Don't watch Dr. Death. Go listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Instead,
I really wanted to like it.
instead watch The Chair
Yeah.
on Netflix.
The other thing we've been watching is Happy Endings,
Yeah.
which I didn't think that you were going to like want to keep. I didn't think that you were going to get into it. I think it's really funny.
I think
like it.
I think it's funny. I wouldn't say it's really funny.
Oh, I'm enjoying it. I think it's very enjoyable.
I mean, it's good. I mean,
I never watched it when it was on TV.
I don't think I did either. Maybe I saw like an episode or two and didn't really enjoy it when it was first on. It's good. It's good. It's not like great. It's good like before bed fodder.
Yeah.
You know.
That's exactly what I want it for.
Who's the guy that plays the gay guy? What's his name?
I can't remember.
Like, you know, I think everybody loved him and Penny. They're like the two funniest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The other characters are like not that interesting, not that funny, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like some of the situations and the writing are funny, but like I'm not in love with those characters, to be honest. But it's fine.
that's fair.
It's fine.
Which Wayans brother is in it?
Damon? Damon Wayans Jr.?
I think he's funny in this. He has like some really good like moments in it.
I feel like he doesn't really do much.
Yeah, but like I don't know how to say. Well, whatever. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Still gotta watch Lupin
One day.
one day.
Anything else on The Chair?
Just don't sit on this one, guys.
With that, if you have any suggestions on shows for us to watch, email us at trybypilot@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at trybypilot. And go on to Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, subscribe to the show, leave a review, and tell a friend.
And thank you to the Beats for providing our theme music.
Thanks, Beats. Bye.
Bye.
Watching